Hi, I'm Chris Hoff from the Security Business Unit. Today, we're going to talk about a very interesting set of trends as it relates to cloud computing and security. About 4 years ago, we started to see this amazing set of disruption and innovation take center stage in terms of extending what we've seen with server virtualization out into the emerging set of public and private cloud providers who started really spinning interesting sets of solutions for customers who were looking to go well beyond just virtualized data center infrastructure and really explore new ways of deploying and architecting and writing software and advertising services. So what's interesting about this move is we started talking about what is cloud? And you couldn't swing a dead cat without somebody coming up with their own definition of what infrastructure, platform, or software as a service meant, what public cloud, private cloud, or hybrid cloud, or virtual private cloud meant. Thank goodness that conversation has really shifted away from what is cloud to, more importantly, how can we use it? So what we're actually seeing in our customers today, whether we talk about the enterprise or service provider, is really an expansion of the ecosystem and a much better understanding of the models of implementation and what problems we're trying to solve. Used to be that cloud was this hammer looking for a nail. So what we're seeing now is folks, especially in the enterprise, looking at taking that step of extending virtual infrastructure to build their own private clouds, which enables kind of more agility, things like chargeback, better dynamism, and starting to have their developers write applications in new and interesting ways. And that's just kind of private cloud, internal virtualized infrastructure with scale and flexibility and agility. Those same enterprise users are also making use of platform as a service, so things like Google App Engine, any number of services available like Enterprise Beanstalk on Amazon, Cloud Foundry is another great example, or Heroku for certain other types of programmatic languages, and being able to actually push applications out to these platforms, which means they don't really have to maintain or manage infrastructure. And then we have the use of software as a service, where people are taking advantage of entire stacks owned, managed, and maintained, and ultimately secured by third-party vendors. So what that really tells you, whether you're an enterprise or a service provider catering to enterprises, is that the model of where it's at is actually all about hybrid clouds. How do I take infrastructure, platform, software as a service? How do I leverage it in both public, private, and even virtual private settings to really do what I want in terms of being able to serve my constituents, whether that's the public at large or particular business units, in ways that make more fiscal sense, that lowers my response times, that increases productivity and agility, and reduces my time to market. So we've seen the emergence of hybrid clouds, but what that's done is really stressed and challenged the way in which we think about security. So for these newfangled applications, these cloud apps that you hear about daily, folks taking applications, crafting them, and writing them specifically for public cloud-based systems like Amazon Web Services, you're seeing developers re-architect fundamentally the way in which they actually build their apps, deploy their apps, manage and maintain these applications, which means that in many cases, application logic is embedded within the programs or apps themselves from a security perspective. So it's not like those folks are really depending upon firewalls, either physical or virtual, to implement security or compliance. They're doing it by building in the applications. So the challenges here are, how do you take best-of-breed technology and approaches for securing applications and infrastructure, whether you're a service provider or an end user like an enterprise, and be able to integrate security in meaningful ways that adopt to the development capabilities that are really now being driven by lines of business, but also developers in terms of both how they operate and secure. So we've seen a real set of pain points being addressed by new startups entering the space, where they actually deliver security as a service, as an intermediary service between these cloud platforms, public, private, hybrid. We've seen the opportunities, for example, to enable secure encryption and storage, and ultimately the things that matter most, protecting the applications and information, have been really the focus of this new crop of startups. How do I protect applications in new and interesting ways? So our portfolio is really tooled around starting to address the evolving needs for secure application delivery. That could be the coupling and ultimately deployment of services like App Balancer, like Web App Secure, DDoS Secure in virtual form factor, where you can ultimately instrument this capability into the infrastructure if enabled, and then ultimately, if you can't, take telemetry from these endpoints and be able to communicate back to the network so we can make more informed security decisions. So stay tuned. We're going to be talking about this topic a lot more in the near future as our portfolio continues to develop, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.